Last time on Good Neighbors. Our heroes make their final preparations before they face off with the weregators. Beck and Cascius provide some much-needed reconnaissance to the bulwark so they can properly brace themselves for this new horror. Meanwhile, Flint and June discover that the true monster, the progenitor of the weregators, is the womb-like clutch, a living nest which consumes humans and mutates them into fearsome creatures. Knowing the clutch acts like a vulnerable heart, the good neighbors gather every poison they can find and head out.
Lee, are all of the gators in one vat, or are they spread amongst different vats?
Most of them are in one. A couple of them are in the others, just in case.
Okay.
We just want to have two with one group, two with the other, and just make a bunch of noise on either side of the plant to try to split them.
Yeah, I think it should be one magic person, one tricky person in each group. So, Beck and June each in separate groups, and me and Cascius each in separate groups.
I think that's a good call.
And last sort of question I think we need to reconcile with is, say we kill the monster, the clutch. What if the other gator folk don't disappear or change back?
I assumed this was a droid control ship, but if it's not, I guess we just fight our way out of here and then, maybe regroup to deal with the rest of them.
Yeah, and if we can contaminate all the water with salt or whatever we're contaminating stuff with, I mean, I'm sure it'll affect all the gators, not only the big dude.
Hey, Cascius, can I have that flask I gave you back?
Yeah.
Hey, June, you said you know how to siphon gasoline from a vehicle, right?
I implied it, but yeah.
Put some in this...
So now I'll say it.
Put some in this flask. We're going to put some cloth on the flask, and if everything goes to shit, then we're going to Molotov cocktail the building and run.
Okay, cool.
That is our plan. Everything has failed.
We know for a fact that there's no civilians working at the plant, though.
Isn't this a discontinued plant?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the only
okay.
people that show up here are people managers or
Gotcha.
people who send people to make sure no one's doing drugs in here.
Because the gators
custodians.
were grabbing people.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
If there was anyone here, then they have somehow formed an alliance with the gators and perhaps should not be trusted.
Or they've been turned into clutch ammunition to make more mutants.
When you say alliance with the gators, Flint is curling his Gomez Adams pencil mustache.
Beautiful. All right. Chuck and Bishop go to confirm with you guys, or Juice comes to confirm with you guys, everything's set and ready to go. Check in how everyone's feeling. Remind everyone that if at any moment your courage leaves you, no one will fault you for leaving. That sort of thing.
That is very good to know.
Yeah.
I think we relay the fact that there are 4 gators in there and everything. And Beck suggests that the magically capable people of the bulwark, maybe excluding Hayes, uses magic to trap gators or to bar them from leaving whatever vat they're in.
That makes sense. Good thinking.
Thanks.
I go to ask how many of you are magic, and they're already walking away. I'm like, God damn it!
Very good. Very good. All right. The moment has arrived. It's just getting before daylight, which means people are going to start waking up. It could mean that people will start coming to visit to check on the plants to make sure no one's doing drugs here or something like that. Little do they know there's going to be a lot of drug doing here as people prepare to fight a monster. Everyone is kind of steeling themselves. A lot of the bulwark have never fought a monster before, so you can see on their face they're kind of making some peace with some things. They're sending some like "I love you" texts without explaining it. I think even in the watch, who the less experienced members are like, trying to psych themselves up and maybe giving a little bit of an overconfident, we got it sort of deal. And Chalamet has like kind of looks a little goofy with their like suit / motorcycle armor with like the visor tipped up, and is trying to like tell Lewis, like there are many like us who have gone through these things before. It is very brave and noble of you, but understand you can leave at any time. That sort of.
Who are who are Flint and Cascius going with?
I figure I've got some amount of rapport with the Bulwark, having watched a movie with them.
Cool.
I'll continue on that path unless Flint has a particular wish to be with them.
Yeah, I'll call Flint over then.
All right, works for me.
I kind of introduced Flint quickly to everyone, and it's clear that June stands out like a sore thumb now. Like, June is wearing a very fancy like suit. It's not business appropriate because it's still kind of like sexy and open, but everyone that June is friends with and very clearly close friends with is like a grimy anarchist, like hoodlum.
They're wearing like denim vests, I'm imagining, with a bunch of patches and pins.
They all have a matching cut, and it has the pink triangle with a crossbones. It's like a skull and crossbones, but with a pink triangle and a baseball bat and crowbar for the bones, making the X.
I do think one or two of them does say "Old Man O'Hare." Holy shit!
Hi.
I gave this guy pizza like 2 days ago.
I feel like one member of the watch hands the other member of a watch like $5. Like they had a bet going about Flint.
Fucking knew he was right. He's onto it.
Yep, been right about everything the whole time. Let me tell you my theory about where these things came from when this is all over. Because it involves the Battletoads video games, and it's great.
Yes. All right.
Right before we leave, Flint takes off his hat and gives it to Lewis. Listen, kid, I'm real proud of you. I need this back when this is over. It's a good luck charm.
Thanks. He takes off his own blue cap and puts your hat on. As you pass the spiritual buck, we see Chalamet on the back of the truck taking like a screwdriver to each of like the rock salt bags, the gasoline tank, and all of like the various like hazardous materials you need to put out there, so that when it finally does tip over into the vat, they will all spill out and start mixing with the solution. We see the camera clip to the chain link fence. A set of bolt cutters clips through each little piece of metal. We see it kind of fall to the ground as sort of a shimmery, wobbly, metallic sound. We see the headlights turn on several cars. We see the truck rev its engine as we do some final checks. And as the truck itself starts to like move behind the fence, starts to round a corner, as there are like a lot of concrete walls. It's like a damming scenario to keep out like any flooding water. We hear this sort of low rumble from inside. What do you all do?
Beck takes out a ring pop and is gonna try to enchant their sword.
Those two sentences did not connect.
I rolled an 8, which is a mixed success. Very, very
all right,
strong.
choose a glitch.
Beck pops on the ring pop and like takes like a suck of it and casts their spell, and it like glows with like a cartoonish, garish light, and the glow like goes from the ring along the sword, so they have this like glowing orange blade. And the glitch is problematic side effect. You tell me.
All right. I think what happens is that the sword itself has actually started to like superheat from the process, and it's starting to like get like a little wobbly and turn a little orange from the magic, and it has the potential that it could break in the middle of combat. Like it could, when slicing through a gator thing's hide, just warp so heavily that it becomes practically useless.
All right.
Flint's gonna look to see how many other people are using things like ring pops, and not like trying to count who's doing magic, but to see who else is using things like ring pops and stuff for magic, to see if he's just been doing it wrong the whole time and that's why he can't do magic.
For sure. I think you see that the Grandmaster Chuck Hayes, like the kind of mustachioed, like little bulkier older man, doesn't use anything like that. He just taps his forehead to the sword, kind of samurai-y, and this have you ever seen heat distortion above like a hot plate or an oven or something like that? It looks like that happens right in front of his katana, and it looks like from two different waves they're coming close together, as if they are like an extended sort of hot air blade, and it's like very fluid, very sort of gentle mystic warrior scenario, which doesn't fit with the fact that he's wearing like a red polo and some khakis and some like hiking boots. But some of the others who are like wearing like the sort of more robes and like work clothes and such, they are using not ring pops, but they have like different things. You'll see that one person has like made some sort of like what's that stuff that you use for shaving, where it's like a little brush and
Shaving cream?
like sort of a pomade, I want to say.
I think that's for your hair, isn't it?
Yeah, pomade's what you use to like style it. I like have pomade in my hair right now.
Oh, well, whatever that stuff is that barbers use, where like you get it on a brush and you rub it on someone's face. Like old timey barbers. It's like a marshmallow fluff kind of consistency.
It is shaving cream. It's just in a solid form. You add water. You stir it with the brush.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on this. I apologize.
There's some listener right now who like knows a lot about shaving and is very frustrated with us.
We have expect an email from an angry barber.
Very good. They have made that, and they are applying it to the length of their I'm going to say their like wood cutting axe, like the blade on it. Whereas another one of them has like they're called kamas. They're like hand scythes, where they're like a little handheld thing and then a long blade along the top. And they are doing a similar thing, but by dipping it in wine. Like a lot of these people have, like as Beck had described them, training wheels that they are using that the Grandmaster does not need.
All right, so it's not specifically like this junkyard thing that Beck does.
No, it is just her version is very odd.
I'm casting on a budget. I'm a millennial. This is a struggling economy. I work at a video rental store. What do you want from me?
Very cool.
All of the Southside Devils have like typical gang weapons, like chains and bats and stuff. A few of them have guns. Magpie has a bow and Loon has a hatchet, and Loon has some tattoos that are glowing faintly. They don't have enough magic to be like a wizard, but they have a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Very, very cool. As you guys kind of round the corner, having readied your spells, your weapons, your what have you, you can see that the plan begins where the bulwark and the Southside Devils, as well as the two of you guys or the four of you all splitting into groups now, getting ready to draw out the gators. It starts small, with like both sides like throwing rocks and like twigs and things towards like the vats, and nothing seems to disturb them. And eventually there's like maybe not enough commotion or something isn't disturbing them correctly. So I think Chuck probably starts it with having several of the bulwark form like a defensive line. They have like lifted one of the the remainder of that chain link fence up. They said it's sitting up straight. They have they're standing behind one of the cars, and Chuck does a sort of like Avatar, the Last Airbender kind of fluid motions before he stomps hard on the ground, and we see that the ground shakes a little bit beneath you all, and this like wind tunnel slams on top of the water, and then there's a snap up top as one of the gator folks has lifted their head. And at that point, I think some of the devils like throw smoke bombs and are like shouting and whistling and making a lot of like noise. And one of them like throws like a bottle at its head, and as it like crashes in the glass, spills into the water, several more start to like lift their heads up and roar, and are getting ready for a proper fight. Who wants to go first?
I'm just going to cock my shotgun, and the first one that starts coming out of the tank, I'm gonna shoot with a silver shotgun shell.
Very, very cool. Either one works for me. Either protect someone if that is your focus, or kick some ass if your goal is to deal some damage.
I'm looking to protect someone. I'm looking to keep their focus on the two groups so that they're not going after the truck that's about to speed towards the tanks.
Very cool. Very cool. Go ahead and roll me tough.
Snake eyes.
Beautiful. As you it starts like charging towards the car or where Lewis is. Well, would you like to use luck by any chance? I'll offer that.
You know what? Considering I'm protecting someone, this is one of the few situations where I feel comfortable using luck. So yes.
Absolutely. Then it turns into a complete success of 12. So on that, you can choose an extra where you suffer little harm, where you suffer -1 harm. All impending danger is now focused on you, which maybe seems like not what you're trying to do. You may inflict harm on the enemy, or you hold the enemy back. Either way, you will protect Lewis. He won't get hurt, and neither will the car.
All right. In that case, then I want to inflict harm on the enemy since since no matter what, I'm keeping them from hurting Lewis. So
Hell yeah.
The shotgun does 3 harm, so that's 3 silver.
That's excellent. The creature, as it comes out, it is followed by this like parade of these hulking, monstrous gator folk. They are now that they've started to emerge out of the water like salamanders out of a tank. You can see that there are quite a few of them, at least 10, if not more, and some more might be hiding in the water. And as the first one takes the sort of alpha charge here towards the car, you get ready to take a proper shot on it, and maybe it's random chance, maybe it's like perfect timing. As Lewis tries to, the car goes off, and as Lewis starts to turn the car back on, the headlights flash, the gator's eyes get caught in the glare, and it lifts its head up and exposes its neck, and you get the perfect opportunity to blast it across the chest. And you can see this great, like, cavernous hole left across part of its underbelly, and it is like thrown backwards, and it's all it can really do is to pick up like one of the rocks and rubble nearby and hurl it at you, and you take 1 harm from the encounter. But otherwise, it couldn't like tear into you like it was definitely going to.
And I am once again no, I'm not unstable yet. Okay.
Very cool.
Did you not heal at all?
Oh no, I did. I
Okay.
was down to 2 harm. For some reason I thought I was still at 3.
You're good.
Oh, I'm still at 3.
Oh no! Chuck Hayes will heal you. It's fine.
Chuck, please.
Very good. Alrighty. Now that the gators have emerged from their lair, you can see just how many of them there are. This is like this is like Doom scenario. There are almost a dozen of these massive, deadly creatures ready to slash and tear you up. Who's next?
Beck will try to hit one of them with the sword.
Very good. Go for
You
it.
sound so enthused.
I'm scared.
Oh no.
That's a 9.
A 9. All right. Very cool. Then on a 9, let's see here.
Can I power the heart that?
Absolutely. How do you help? How do you, as one of the creatures is making a charge towards the bulwark and Beck steps up to the plates, how do you give her just the tiniest helping hand?
I think I'm gonna, in a panic, knowing how little help it's gonna be, pull the cafeteria tray from under my shirt and frisbee throw it at the alligator, just to throw it off its game a little bit.
Brilliant. Then that is a 10 plus. You may choose an extra effect. You gain the advantage, take +1 forward. You inflict terrible harm. You suffer less harm. You force them where you want them.
I'd like to suffer 1 less harm, please.
Beautiful. What is the range on your weapon?
Hand.
Hand. Okay.
Yeah.
So as you take that stance to prepare for its initial onslaught, you kind of prepare yourself and brace for a charge to let it kind of impale yourself on your sword. And right as it gets up near you, a frisbee cafeteria tray comes to wing it in the dome, and it turns, expecting like a proper projectile, and like slashes it out of the air and like roars at Cascius. And as like spittle and snot come your way, Cascius, there's a perfect moment where its face is exposed. And you may take this opportunity to give a proper slash. What is your harm?
It is 5 harm magic.
What?
Jesus Christ.
I enchanted a sword, bitches!
Oh my god!
One strike does 2.5.
Fuck.
It is called Big Sword.
Your big sword does 2.5 times handgun damage.
Did you get the sword that's blocking Eden?
To clarify, a big sword normally does 3 harm, and I believe its other tags are like heavy and messy and stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
Beck has ancient fighting techniques, which increase that by 1, and then and it is enchanted to deal an additional, which everybody can do.
Nasty. Love it.
So I believe Flint, your shotgun does 3. If you were to enchant it, which I don't believe you can do because you don't do magic, it would be 4, which is close. But yeah, the initiate is fucking nasty in combat.
It's a boss fight sword.
True.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And for what it's worth, when you use not an animal, I guess an animal too, but a monster's weakness, you deal double harm. So Flint did 6, if that is any consolation. But yeah.
Just saying, I could probably do 5 harm with that tray if he didn't catch it. So.
Yeah. And Beck, on the rebound here, as you take an upward slash through this creature's belly and neck, it whips around. It is dazed slightly and off its rhythm because of a cafeteria tray to the dome, and it takes a slash at you with its long claws. And you take 3 harm, reduced by however many is relevant to you.
I take no harm. I have armor. I took 1 less harm, and my necklace says that when I inflict terrible harm, do double harm, or suffer 1 less harm, I can suffer 1 less additional harm. So I take nothing, and I'm going to kick this thing's ass. Very
cool. Yeah, armor's very good, huh?
Yeah, but you know.
Well, all right. Then you can see the sort of magical ward in front of you as its claws like rake across the air. And again, this sort of heat distortion effect occurs as its hand just hits sheer magical force, and it bounces off and it roars in your face, and the spittle like stops like maybe an inch from you. You can see that some of the other Bulwark members who are not magically inclined and not combat inclined are like impressed and like, oh, I'm going to get there. One day I'll grow up into Beck too. And they're all older than you.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I think all the devils are cheering for you too. Like, they're just like, holy shit. All the sapphics are like, what?
Nice.
Beautiful. Who wants to go?
A few gators are even caught up in the mix cheering.
Yeah, I hated Dave.
June will go. June is gonna run up next to Beck and like give him an upwards nod and a wink, and then take out a pocket watch and shout, "Whoa, Bufflavad!" That will be a 8.
8. And what move is this?
This is burn everything down.
All right. So still using magic, you may just first choose a glitch.
We're gonna take harm because the watch is necromantic, and in order to fuel this spell, I'm giving it a minute off the time of my death.
Very cool.
So like you just see the minute hand go backwards 1.
Nice. You can feel your skin get a little bit like pale, or you can see it, not feel it, as your veins blacken slightly and your eyes look a little jaundiced as the inside of this creature, you can see the inside of it because Beck just made a deathly slash across his chest, starts to like vibrate and like chitter and spew black bile. It starts to like lie down and cough and burn everything. I believe ignores armor, right?
Yes, it's 3 harm, ignores armor, and I think that it's loud and magic. Yeah,
for sure. You can see the sort of like boil form in the inside of its body, and then that boil pops as black bile spits out with this sound, but like louder and more gross.
I just like look around at everyone. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry. Like that was nasty. My bad.
The crowd, like the gang, like laughs and whistles and woohoo!
Flint nudges one of the gang members. Those 2 are my friends.
Oh, Flint.
Very cool. Very, very cool. And
Juice like gives you a salute.
Cascius, what's up?
I'll pull my train conductor hat low over my face and shoot a gator, which is pretty much all I can
Choo-choo,
do.
motherfucker.
You want to shoot the one that Beck and June are destroying, or do you want to hit like a new one?
I'll hit a new one. I'll let them have their fun with that one, maybe, I guess.
Cascius, they're not wielding silver.
Oh. Okay, then I'll shoot that one.
For sure.
Good thing I did, because that's a 2.
Do you want to use luck?
Based on what I've seen of these creatures, do I think I will die right now if I don't?
What's your harm at?
3.
You could.
Then yes.
Cascius, what lucky thing enables you, a non-marksman, to hit this gator?
Okay, I see. I think he like shoots and it sort of like misfires and he kind of like hits it a few times and it just like goes off and like accidentally like just happens to hit one that was a little bit closer than he thought.
For sure. I think the bullet like hits the concrete below you and ricochets like through the forehead, like that tiny little spot on the back of a gator's head which doesn't have bone plating, and it just fucking dies right there. And you may choose an extra effect. It is at a long range, so the harm to you will be minimal right now. So you may choose suffer 1 less harm, give +1 forward, or take +1 forward. You may inflict terrible harm. I can tell you don't need to do that one. You force them where you want them.
You said I don't need to do the terrible harm, or I don't need to do the suffer less harm?
The terrible harm.
Okay, and you say minimal harm, but that's still an amount of harm, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Then
Yeah.
I will try to suffer less of that.
For sure. As it's like faltering and falling, it like grabs like a bit of like broken off concrete and tries to launch it at you because you're at a great distance. It can't like chomp you. And as the gun fired, I think it threw you back a little bit out of surprise, and it just happens to bounce in front of you and miss.
That's fair.
I think Beck is like, yeah, trick shot. That was so cool. I can't believe you can do that.
Nudges the same fucking gang member. All 3 of them are my friends.
Master of frisbee and ricochets.
100% Rick O'Shea is like an alias that like Cascius has used before.
That was his stripper name.
Oh yeah. My name is Ricky O.
Rough. With the initial onslaught begun, the plan kicks off. I think we see several members of the bulwark have gathered like little bits of like hard surface here, like parts of a fence or wall or signs, and the 2 other members who are not Chuck, who can do magic, clap their hands together. They rub like bat guano along the edge and some Elmer's glue down the side, and they make like this sort of defensive wall. And peering from around the side and between the slats between it are like, firing a gun or throwing knives, whatever it is that they are trying to do. And we see that several of the gators are getting ready to move towards them. One of the members trips on the way out and is trying to like pull themselves back as one of the gator men is over top of them. And as they the gator like rises up to leave one great nasty claw against this younger, newer member, we see the great hand of Chuck catch it right on the wrists so that the claw just misses their face. And he has like this like fantastic like martial arts grounded stance, and like this anime energy pulse moves off as like it interacts with his like magical defensive armor. And he does like a cool judo throw as he catches it by the neck and throws it away from the guy and prepares his sword again for a new fight. We see the gang members, the watch fighting really unconventionally, where like one of them starts to run towards the gator. And right as they do, a smoke bomb lands beneath it. The first one rolls backwards as two other members throw a blanket over top it. And as it rips off the blanket, this like spiked baseball bat slams down on its head as the others around it are like spitting at it and like doing like the raspberry.
Fucking Lost Boys energy.
And the sheer confusion is messing with their like predator instincts. So it's like all of the gators like, I'm ready for like a fight of great strength or like a prey to chase, and they're just not doing any of that. And it's really throwing them off their game. And I think as we are waiting for Chalamet and Lewis is like frozen solid with his hands around the steering wheel, like clenched tight, like it's just not moving, because in the water is danger, is where he turns into a monster. And he's like, I think, stuck at this moment as Chalamet is like outside the window, like taking pot shots at some of the gators, turns around and is like, Lewis, wake up, come on. Who's that?
Me.
Flint.
So, you're saying Lewis isn't acting right now?
Yeah, he's frozen solid at this moment.
I am going to disengage from the fight, like firing behind me as I disengage, not really aiming at anything, just giving myself room, and run over to the truck and like bang on the dashboard while I'm leaning in. And I'm going to look at Lewis and I'm going to go, listen, Lewis, very wise person said something to me not too long ago. Speech is later. We'll talk later. Hero time. And I give him a pat on the back to kind of trick him.
Maybe a little manipulative person.
Oh boy, this is what I'm bad at. Not too bad though, because that was 8 minus 1, 7.
Nice. You got to do something right now to prove you mean it, and you hit the gas.
I cock my shotgun and start firing wildly. I'll be out there protecting you.
I think, yeah, for sure. As like one of the gators like gets close and like hops on the hood, it is blasted off by a shotgun blast. And as he's reminded, like, if he doesn't do this now, it's, now or never. And he looks at you. It gives you the sort of like grimace nod of fear, but like biting through it as they stomp on the gas and they start to take off. He's like, taking off his like seatbelt, and he's getting ready to unlock the door as hiding behind one of the vats or below it, one of the gators never emerged, and it finally takes its opportunity to slash one of the tires as we see the truck start to skid out, and it is almost on its side as the front left tire dips into the vat containing the clutch. But not quite tipping over as Lewis is like dangling off the side, and Chalamet is holding him from the top side as he's like trying to yank him out up to safety. The truck has not yet fully tipped over. It is almost there. It just needs one good push or some jostling of maybe wind. I don't know. But the two of them are right there near the main vat. the camera starts to dip below the water as we see this sort of almost looking like this monstrous cake, where it's trapezoidal in shape, in a sort of circular form, or like a pyramid with a cut off top. We see these mixture of mud and moss and sticks and grass and weeds. We see dipping outside of it these like jellified bodies. We see these like humans inside waiting, like sleeping almost in a mummified form, where this mucousy substance is slowly like morphing their skin into scales. We see at the very top of it this sort of like hole or like mouth or orifice up top starts to spew upwards like an underground volcano, as this green sort of pollen starts to fly upwards in a jet stream. And you can see the water at the top of the vat part as this pollen substance starts like lifting high into the air like a blizzard, or like one of those like ski mountain snowmakers. Who's up next?
June will go. If I understand it correctly, the car is almost there. It just needs to be pushed, right?
It's like dangling over the side, but it has like too much weight to be knocked over without like significant force.
I'm sorry, just so I understand also, if it gets knocked in, are Lewis and Chalamet also going to fall in?
They will, but they could probably get up pretty fast, but they will have that brief moment of being in danger.
I am going to bar a place. I'd like to create a field around the car so that no croc people can get to it. So whoever goes to try and push the car doesn't have to be worried about getting eaten.
I like that. Absolutely.
And that'll also give Chalamet and the little boy a chance to like clamber up without getting killed. So
by all means, roll some magic.
Cool. Ooh, that's a 6. Oh,
does anyone want to help out?
The power of the heart. I don't think I've used it this turn.
You have not. Go for it. How are you helping?
How are you doing this? Just so I can
sure.
visualize what
I'm taking out
for.
a jar of flies, and I whisper to them, "Rosenjock!" And then I open the lid, and they go and just start like flying around the car, and they create like a big circle around it.
Ooh, how could I help with this particular occurrence?
I think June could be like, "Hey, give me your hand for a second."
Okay, this seems like an interesting time for it, but if it'll help you.
I realize I just don't have the energy. I'm too distracted, and I think I'm just gonna like lick your arm and then spit into my own hands and funnel more magic into the spell.
Ooh, good old Detroit hello.
Oh no. What is the glitch you choose on a 7 to 9?
One of it is like it's only a short duration, right?
Yeah.
I'll pick that one. I don't think we need this bubble to last for long.
For sure. You can see that like one of the gator that was near them that slashed their tire has like hopped up and has started to like slash through them. And we see that though there's this magical barrier, it will run out when they run out of flies, and it's got a big ass mouth to take in a lot of them at once. So we see like these like great scoops of now dead flies as the creature is like gnawing through the sort of force field you've made.
Someone deal with the car.
Wait, I think we're inside. You can hear Lewis being like, "I regret coming." Yeah, who's up next? I believe yeah.
No, I was gonna say. So I imagine Beck is probably gonna deal with the car. So
Yeah.
I think as Beck goes to probably do whatever Beck's gonna do, I want to try to get Chalamet and Lewis and be like, have me being sort of on an outside position. I imagine I have a somewhat decent view of the battlefield. I want to be able to like get to them and try to lead them back with "Let's get out of here."
Absolutely.
So that's if you can protect someone by telling them what to do or by leading them out, roll charm instead of tough.
Okay.
So I'd like to try to protect them by leading them out.
For sure.
It's another snake eyes. This is two.
You
That's
had-
4, but I'm gonna keep this.
You had
one.
the perfect move for this scenario.
Oh man. Alrighty. Yeah, you approach from the side of this sort of extended force field to guide Lewis and Chalamet out. And as you get up close, the monster's attention is turned to you. As you like make a shout for like this way. There is an immediate break across your chest, and you take 3 harm.
Ow!
And I believe that puts you at unstable.
Oh, very much so. I in one more harm, I will be dying. So
Yeah.
ouchie. Lewis, not this way. I changed my mind.
Oh,
Very, very cool. Beck, you're up.
I think Beck was going to charge the car, but I guess
I can get the car.
No, you can't. Is Chalamet and Lewis still like dangling from the
They're
car?
like climbing out the right side door. If you can visualize that, like
Okay.
the left side door is underwater. The right side door is open, and they're like coming out of it.
Okay. I will also bar a place. Can I bar them from the vat itself so that they can't fall in?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. Okay. Beck pulls out like a handful of Legos out of their lunchbox. Rolls a 7. The Legos start like popping like popcorn and like multiplying. And like whizzing away from her hands, and they form like a Lego like pool covering over the vat that is like semi like translucent for our purposes because they're magical Legos.
For sure.
And now those two can't fall in. And the glitch is probably like short duration.
Okay. Yeah, that seems fine. Yeah, for sure. You can see it kind of whizzing out. They have like maybe a turn or so before they can fully escape on their, at least under their own power. And this should hold out that long.
Okay.
We see the bulwark and the watch, while performing admirably, they are at a state where like they're kind of getting surrounded now and trying to make a bit more of a defensive posture. The bulwark is like now in a sort of pyramidal form, with Chuck at the front, the 2 other magic users behind him, and the rest in that sort of form, so that if anyone were to approach, they could then enwrap them and take them on like that and surround
Flying
them.
V.
Yeah. And the I think the devils are kind of using their mobility to their advantage. There are fewer of them, but they have a fucking car. So they're like rolling around, just trying to like get close, park, reverse, do like that Tokyo drift thing where they slide near them and race off. And while one of them will like bat them with like a golf club or something on the side of the head. But there are like noticeable like rakes along the car. A couple of the people have been slashed and are bleeding. And those people have been like, they take priority of getting to the back and let the people who are healthy and stable into a good position. If the battle goes on much longer, there will probably be at least 1 or 2 casualties. Maybe Cascius.
Yeah,
Wait, you're up.
Casualty.
So there's a gator like eating Cascius as it comes around to my turn, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I am going to use protect someone, and in a state of pure panic, Flint is going to run at this gator, firing his shotgun wildly. It's a shotgun, so it's only got 2 shells before I have to reload.
Yeah.
At the point of reload, I am instead going to dive and, using the shotgun as almost like a bar, tackle the gator into the vat to keep it away from Cascius.
Nice. Go for it.
Nice. That is a 9 + 1, so a 10.
Beautiful. Choose an extra. You suffer little harm. All impending danger is now focused on you. You inflict harm on the enemy, or you hold the enemy back.
I'm going to go with hold the enemy back, because I just want to keep it away from Cascius. I don't care what happens to me.
For sure. You, like, slam it up against the truck. As the two of you are, like, wrestling back and forth with one another. Its claws are, like, grinding into your shotgun and, like, cracking through some of the wood on the stock. As it's, like, roaring in your face and snapping its jaws. You, Flint, are, like holding your head back as it's, like, nearly biting into you. I think you take a harm as its, like, little claws wrap around the gun and, like, stick into your forearm. You can feel some blood leaking out through your flannel.
And that is enough to make me unstable.
Hell yeah. All right. And that is Flint. Who's up next?
June will deal with this car situation. June will run up to it and cast a spell to do something outside human limitations.
Absolutely.
All right. Snake eyes. I'm gonna fucking use a luck.
Big luck time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this session has had so much luck in it.
Well, it's the finale. It's my first one. I'm not happy about it though.
For our audience who has never heard of this or has not used the Monster of the Week campaign rules, everyone has 7 uses of a thing called luck, where it takes your roll, whatever it was, and makes it a 12. You can still add your bonuses or negatives to it, of course, but that usually means a complete success. In this particular case, most people can actually recover 1 or 2, but usually something happens fortunate for you. But you only have 7 for the entire campaign, no matter how long it is. So depending on
when my playbook, the Crooked, uses luck, someone from their past shows up. So that is why I have not used it yet.
I think the camera clips to an old antique television where we see like those old like V-style antenna, like having a little bit of static between them. The TV is on like this black and white film for a little while before it cues into June. We see June on the field right next to the truck. And imagine the thing you're trying to do is, beyond human limitations, push it in.
Yeah.
You, like lift a truck to throw it in. And you can push yourself against it and you can feel the magic like sapped out of your body. You used a lot of it in a very short amount of time and it's exhausting. And your body just isn't responding. And we see this little like effigy doll in the hand of this sort of gross, yellowy skinned person as we see the heavy-set, bald, and bespectacled figure of the Baron with his sharp, shark-like teeth, like, and he gives a little push of the arms, and suddenly your arms jolt forward, and they throw the truck in. Not today, little one, he says. That no one can hear, of course, but you feel this magical jolt in your arms before the truck slides in. And we see like a sort of a strainer situation. Lewis and Chalamet don't go in the water as the truck falls in, and this vast array of gasoline and salts and other chemicals and hazardous materials spew into the water and start to discolor it immediately. It probably, thanks to the truck being so heavy, it is stirring it up. It's causing a disturbance. If you just like let it trickle in, it would take forever. But there's a goddamn truck on it throwing it around. And the truck is still on, so the wheels are still spinning. And it's just like banging against the side of the vat. There's this great splash, and I think everyone close to the vat is now soaking wet, in addition to that. And we see below the chemicals start to sift through the clutch's body. We see that sort of yellowy, pussy, like pustules along its form, these sort of egg sacs that it had. Begin to blacken and quiver. It's underwater, so it's hard to hear, but we hear this sort of muffled squeaking, like you would think like a lobster or a shrimp would make as it's being boiled alive. But above, the fighting is still continuing.
I'm gonna look out over the field because is my bubble still here of flies? Am I safe for now?
It will be gone very soon, though.
Okay. I'm gonna shout to Beck and be like, we got to get Cascius out of here.
Yeah, he's fucked up. Let's go. I'm gonna try to. Would it be protect Cascius, or like what would I use to help get him out? Okay.
Protect someone to be viable, yeah.
That's an 11.
11. All right, go ahead and choose an extra. You suffer little harm. All impending danger is now focused on you. You inflict harm on the enemy, or you hold the enemy back.
I think hold the enemy back.
Okay. As you are retreating with maybe Cascius on your shoulder, sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
The gators that are around you, few as they are, have now started to like spew out of their mouths this black bile, and this yellow pus has started to seep from between their scales. You're visibly losing muscle mass. Like their bodies are shriveling and dehydrating as they're approaching you. And one takes a nasty swipe at you as you like turn your body to give Cascius some room, and it streaks across your arm, and you do take 2 harm as you reduce to 1 because of your armor. As you like run away from it, and it can't keep up with you. There's like its legs have dehydrated and don't give it enough force to chase you. Very
Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Cascius, what's up?
Bleeding out and not really knowing what to do. I think he's gonna pull a strange move, sort of in his delirium of bleeding out. Since I've chosen the alternative weird move of sensitive, I think as he's bleeding out, he's gonna accidentally try to like tap into some psychic connection that might be between the gators and the clutch to see if he can sense whether the clutch is in distress and if that will cause the gators to die as well.
I love that. Absolutely. For our listeners, this comes from the Tome of Mysteries edition to the Monster of the Week games. There are alternative weird-based moves, one of which, so if you choose not to do magic, you can do other things. For example, Flint's weird science, or Cassius's sensitive, which makes you a goddamn psychic.
So yeah, when you open up your brain to the psychic world, roll weird. I rolled an 11 minus 1 weird, which is a 10. And the sensitive trait says on a 10 or more, you gain a definite impression, a vision, tangible aura, or an overheard thought, etc., about something important.
Fantastic. So as you are connecting with this creature's mind, you can get this sort of like collective sense, as if you are in your brain talking to a chorus, like you're sitting there talking to this choir of people going like, "Are you hurt? Yes, 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 yes. Are you dying? Yes, 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 yes." Of like different voices, and some of it sounds more bestial, some of it sounds more human. As your brain connects, we can see that one of the sort of tumorous bulbs on the clutch has started to like rapidly pulse like a heart as it's accelerating this fluid out of its body. And I think you don't mean to, but you say like scared, and it goes yes. And you get this impression that it could normally beam out pain or damage to itself to its other minions, but it can't like transmit suffocation to others. It's going to keep happening. You can't pawn off your wounds there. If you can't breathe, you're just going to die. And you can tell that as long as you keep everyone away from the gators, they'll either die or change back on their own.
So I'm imagining Beck's going to put me down at some point in this path. And I'm going to take Beck's head in my hands, go, "Beck, I can see the clutch in my head.
Yeah.
And it's hurting.
Oh.
And all the gators, they're going to die too. And you just got to stay away from the gators. But they'll... Ow.
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. Can we get him a shock blanket? Oh, boy.
You have to believe me. This time I'm probably being right. Maybe. I feel real good about this one.
Okay. So we have to stay away from the gators?
Or just like, don't die. They'll die eventually. I don't know. This is... You got a Band-Aid?
Oh, boy.
Flint yells from across the room while being nearly eaten. Does everyone have magic powers but me?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Then I think a lot of the other members take the cue as the bulwark, a couple of them like do backflips up over the wall and then like hang down ropes as the others climb up and they pull them off as some of the gators are like clambering to chase them. I do think one person does get a scrape across the back of their leg, but it isn't deathly. I think the devils, not caring too much about their car, just run one of the gators over and drive out, back out onto the streets. As we can hear like this sort of boom, 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 as they lose their muffler and it just gets crazy loud beneath their car. And then they park outside and are shouting, "Woohoo!"
I fucking love them.
I think all of them like popping out of their car and like high-fiving and stuff.
I'll give Chalamet and Lewis some cover and like help them get up off the Legos and like onto solid ground.
For sure. Why don't you roll me one last protect someone and we'll close out this fight.
I shouldn't have said that. Oh no, I am a -1.
See what happens when you help people.
I know. Yeah, this is why warlocks don't help people. Oh, damn it. That's a 5.
5. Mark experience. I can tell you that the gators are clearly weaker than they were before. And I think one of them gets one last nasty slash on you, and you take 2 harm as it's like teetering and falling away into the vat, and it like tries to hold on to you for balance, but you pull away naturally because that's obviously, and it like its claws dig on your shoulder and drag all the way down to your hand, and you've lost a fair bit of skin as it collapses into the water that has now blackened and muddied. And the gator starts to like disintegrate.
I let out a fuck. I'm at 4 harm now.
And with that, Chalamet starts to like do the fireman carry where he like lifts you up and goes, and you hear it. He goes, no, never mind. We're just gonna walk. We're gonna be okay.
Yeah, I'll be fine. And I'm like snorting something out of a glowing container.
Lewis is like a track star. He's actually out already.
Just bailed on everyone.
Yeah, fair, right?
Yeah.
So he is like outside the gates, like, I did it! Yeah! He's like super proud of himself. And I think everyone at this point has started to like convene outside. It's like taking off their helmets and is starting to breathe again. Everyone's like rapidly getting bandaged as we see inside the plant in sort of this like vat yard. The gator folks, some of them simply falling into the water and disintegrating into this black sludge, and a couple of them, their body just looks emaciated and shriveled as we can see their sort of normal human form starts to take place. Some of the scales recede, turns and resprouts hair. They're naked as shit, which is going to suck in the morning, which is now, because the sun just came up. But they will be found probably by someone not caring or will have seen this sort of thing, but not seen this sort of thing. Like emergency medical professionals who've seen unconscious naked people before. To go deal it, not people who just like seeing naked people. Anyways, as small tips are called in about people in trouble or someone hurt, the mess is cleared with great gusts of wind and maybe a little bit of elbow grease. And all of you are safe from the clutch. Cascius is dying, but he may be okay.
Please? Hey, June, do you have any of that aloe vera or the Bengay or whatever that was you slapped me with in that basement that one time?
I just take some of my own blood and I like smear it on my face and chant, where's my cure a harm? There it is. Nudak oh Tache. And that will be an 8.
Choose me like shh.
When do you become unstable?
Now, you became unstable a while ago. You become unstable at 4 harm.
Oh, at 4, so I'm unstable already. So I'm not going to deal harm to myself. I'll do obvious, right? Like, we've already been making a bunch of noise. Obvious is a glitch, right?
No, obvious already happens with magic in the first place. Unwanted attention is the thing you're thinking.
Yeah, I'll take that. We just fought a bunch of gator men.
For sure. Then as you draw in your magic, what is the sort of loud attention-grabbing effect?
I think if medical professionals have already been called, probably cops have too, and it's just time to scatter.
Okay, for sure. You can tell that your timing is maybe not the best. As Cascius, you can feel your face sort of like reassemble some cells, and your chest start to suck some blood back in. And the time with which you have to sit and recover is not available to you anymore. You can hear the police sirens go as everyone's like, get in your car. And you get this great pain as someone just like lifts you up. It's like, time to go. And you're like bleeding out the chest. Time to go.
Maybe just leave me for the ambulance.
Strip your clothes off and go lie with all the other people waking up.
No, they're gonna think you're a junkie.
People have thought worse about me.
Wouldn't want that.
It's fine. But if I do die, just cut off my hands and remove my teeth and leave me on a beach somewhere.
Jesus Christ, Cascius!
What?
Buddy! What?
I don't want to be identified. And I don't know. I think it's more fun that way.
You want to be in a BuzzFeed Unsolved video?
Guys, he's delirious. Earlier, he thought he was psychic. We can't trust anything he's
I was
saying
on
right
a
now.
public
It's just in a bad
television
way.
show. You're not allowed to lie on public television. That's a crime.
Wait, Cascius is a psychic?
Of course I
I
am.
assume we're all in cars.
Yeah, we're all like leaving.
I'm going to yell at the gang and at the bulwark. We normally go for pizza after these things. Do you guys want to go for pizza?
I think the watch are like, yeah.
They're all blasting Queen right now.
For sure. And I think a couple of members of the bulwark who are hurt are like very practical, like, no, I'm gonna go get some medical attention. Chuck is like, that's not for me. I don't, do that sort of thing. But he doesn't say all that. He's just kind of just like, no, thank you. And then I do think a couple of them are like, yeah, I could use a snack.
Okay.
And you all drive off into the sunset as the cops show up, EMTs show up. Cascius, you are looking nasty right now. And then if you guys all go get pizza.
Will I die if I do?
No, but you might have some nasty scarring later.
Oh, that's fine.
If we go to my neighborhood, they'll like do stuff for me because they know that like I've helped them out and stuff. So it's pretty early in the morning, right?
Yeah.
I'll call up my favorite food truck in that like parks in that area. It's owned by someone named Andrea Appio, and her food truck is Goat Pizza. And I'll like call her up and ask if she can like set up for us. Like I know it's early, but like, hey, like I have a bunch of friends and we've had a rough night. Can you hook us up with some pies?
She's like, hell yeah. I think by random chance she was just up early and kind of up and at him and ready to go this morning. So yeah, absolutely. Everyone's gonna go, get her a lot of business. And I think Garcia is like, it's all on me, everybody. Get whatever you want.
That was implied.
Her truck is called Goat Pizza because she has a pet goat named Spock, and June is just like hanging out with this pet goat, like eating pizza.
See, I thought you were going to use your cool neighborhood feature to find me a doctor.
I thought that too.
But pizza's good too.
Don't worry, Cascius.
This goat is a good substitute for antibiotics. I will
Can we-
say.
I've got a soldering iron and a taser. I'm pretty sure I can keep you alive.
I trust you.
Oh, we have first aid kits.
I really feel like
Does anyone keep a first aid kit in their
feel
car?
like Flint's soldering iron plane is kind of.
Wait, do you want to use preparedness to get some emergency medical gear?
Yes. That's a 4. Oh, wait,
well,
wait, is preparedness plus sharp?
It is sharp, yeah.
Oh, in that case, it's a 7.
So you have it, just not right here.
I got a med kit back at my storage set. Right now, I've got, like I said, I got a soldering iron. And
Your storage shed is in my neighborhood, so it can't be too far from this food truck.
yeah, I guess.
Tell you
Have
what,
the track kid run and get it.
Don't you have your dirt bike with you?
Oh yeah. All right, I'll head to my storage shed and get my emergency medical supplies.
you do so. You patch Cascius up. You give him some stinging antiseptic. He looks not great, but he'll be okay. He'll be stable and safe, and his wounds won't get any worse.
And it's better than a soldering iron.
Better than a soldering
That's what I
iron.
love about Western medicine. You know it's working when you feel like shit.
Beck, what pizza did you get?
Beck gets pineapple and ham pizza.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. They don't care what anyone says. This is their bliss.
Nice.
Flint has lost all faith in Beck.
Everyone gets their pizza. We see the emergency services arrive at the desalination plant, pick everyone up. We see in the like one of the EMT trucks, there's only like one of the medical staff there, like holding someone's hand, and as the person is like kind of coming to, they say things like, "What happened? Where am I?" And we see behind some circular glasses, this like tall medical staff go, "Oh, don't worry, everything's gonna be all right. You're safe now. Don't worry."
That sucks.
Jeez.